Carla Bruni with the Chicago Bungalow Association, and in this episode of our How-To Home series, we'll be speaking with homeowners before and after they have an energy retrofit done on their vintage home. So now we're inside with Kay Oberhausen, Chris Apap, and Kimball. Why did you decide to buy a vintage home?
Yeah, I know we always knew we wanted to buy a vintage home. We really love the charm of vintage homes. We love that they're lived in and that they have a history. And this home in particular, we really fell in love at first sight with the tile roof and our stained glass and just the trim and even the creaky floors. We really love all that it has to offer. And as we looked at homes, this is our first home purchase, and as we were looking at homes, this one really stood out. We just instantly fell in love with the bungalow.
It's striking. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much what Kay said. Like, we just really like the character of an old home. It feels lived in. There's a lot of quirks to it, but we like that kind of stuff. We wanted to be able to do some projects, and we didn't want like a perfect gut rehab, like fresh brand new kind of feel. So as a 100-year-old home will go, insulation wasn't really much of a priority back then, or that they were just working with what they could. So in the summertime, we sleep upstairs, so in the summertime it's swelteringly hot, or in the winter there's just a cross breeze constantly.
Yeah.
It gets pretty cold. We have like 5 blankets on the bed, and
make it as cozy as it feels, as it looks. We want to make sure that it feels that way too. So
yeah.
Gotcha. Well, let me just break down then what we're going to be doing next week in your home. First, the crew will do a visual inspection and a variety of tests, including a blower door test, which will let them know just how leaky your home is. Then they'll protect your home from unwanted dust by putting up plastic barriers everywhere. On the first floor, they'll be using phenolic foam to stop airflow between your plaster and interior brick walls. To minimize the damage done to your walls, they'll be drilling small holes every couple of feet to pump the foam in, which they'll then patch and seal for you. They'll seal any air penetrations that they find and cut hatches into your knee walls so they can air seal and insulate behind them. Once those penetrations are sealed up, they'll pump cellulose insulation in, and because you have a finished attic, they'll only be addressing the areas behind those knee walls so your space will remain usable. Then finally, to make sure you have proper ventilation, they'll also insert an ASHRAE bathroom fan. Sealing up your home will lessen airflow coming in and out and give you more control over your temperature, but it can also trap in harmful gases, so it's important to ensure that there's enough airflow. D&R Construction will set the fan at whatever speed is necessary, and it'll run continuously at that low speed, but then when somebody comes into the bathroom, it's motion sensor to speed up like a regular bathroom fan. All right, we are back with Chris and Kay and Kimball. Kimball, who is actually featured in the Bungalow Buddies calendar this month as well, coincidentally. So we did the air sealing and insulating. It's been almost 2 months now, and just kind of wanted to hear about what that process was like for you guys working with the crew.
Yeah, I was here the day that they did the work, and it was. I'm still amazed at how quickly they did everything. The fact that they could do the whole house in one day. It was astonishing to me.
Yeah, I came home from work, and besides the holes in the wall that they had patched, it was like they hadn't been there. They were very respectful of our house, and it was great to come home and not have a lot of dust and mess.
Well, I spoke with John Meehan after all the work had been done, and he said that the air reduction before and after, based on the blower door test, was about a 40% reduction of infiltration. So that's a pretty good number, and I wondered if you guys actually could feel that difference in the house.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're definitely feeling a lot more comfortable in the home, especially here on the first floor. And we had some breezes up on the second floor that we used to notice that are completely gone, which is really nice as well. And once we heat the home, we really feel the heat in the home, and we feel like it's staying here, which is really nice. And especially with the brutal winter we just had, it's nice to know that we're insulated and not leaking tons of air. So.
Yeah, it definitely feels a lot more sealed than it was before. I mean, it was just brick wall and then plaster, and that's all it was. So it's definitely a lot warmer.
Great. And have you noticed anything? If you're feeling it, have you noticed anything in terms of like your thermostat or any difference in that realm?
Oh yeah, we have a smart thermostat, and it gives us monthly updates, and the hours that it's been running is one of the biggest metrics that it gives you, and we've had like a significant reduction in hours that the thermostat has actually been working.
That's great.
So that's a huge thing that we've noticed for sure.
Excellent. Well, you guys put the house back together so quickly, so thank you for that. It looks amazing. You would never have known any work was done in here. And thank you for letting us spend so much time in your house on multiple occasions now. We really appreciate it. It's been a beautiful house to spend so much time in, so thanks.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks to you and DNR and Bungalow Association. It was a great experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, great.